Hi, my name is Colin, and I am going to demonstrate the 5 principles of breath-based Hatha Yoga as it relates to Tadasana, which is mountain pose. So in mountain pose, you're going to have your feet hip width apart or 2 fists apart. You stand with your tailbone slightly in, your navel tucked, your spine straight, chest lifted and facing forward with your hands out like this. So the first principle is breath is movement. The body movement is the breath movement. Okay? So basically this means that when we inhale, generally when the limbs are going away from the body, we're on an inhale, and when the limbs are coming back into the body, it's an exhale. So the breath movement is the body movement, so they're all synchronized together. Okay, and so as we breathe in with Ujjayi, hands come up, and as we exhale, the hands come down. So the breath and the movement is one, and it's uniform. Okay, so that's the first principle. The second principle is that the breath envelopes the movement. Okay, so the breath starts, it initiates the movement, but it starts just before the body movement begins, and it stops just after the body movement finishes. So I'll demonstrate. So the breath starts, then the movement just starts after it. The body movement ends, and the breath ends just after it. And then coming down on the exhale starts, arms come down, arms stop, and the breath stops just afterwards. So yeah, so this is called enveloping or hugging the movement within the breath. The breath is always the same length, and the movement sits within that. So shorter movements are done slower, and longer movements are done a little bit quicker to fit inside the breath. So the breath is the core of the practice, and the movements fit within the breath each time. Okay, so I'll demonstrate that one more time. So as we inhale, inhale starts, then body movement just afterwards. Body movement stops, and exhale just stops after. And then to a slight little pause between the exhale and the inhale. And then when we start to exhale again, the breath starts and the movement starts. As you stop, the body movement stops and the breath just finishes afterwards. Excellent. Okay, so then the third principle is the inhale is from above in receptivity, and the exhale is from below as strength. Okay, so this goes into the principles of Hatha. So inhale is receptivity, so that's that receiving, the more feminine energy, and the exhale is the sun force, and it's in strength, so it comes from here. So as we inhale, you'll notice that the breath initially starts here. As we inhale, our spine lifts, our rib cage comes out, and then it gradually comes down. And then as we begin to, at the end of the exhale or the inhale, our belly just pops out a little bit, and then we begin to exhale, but it begins here and then flows through. So breath is inhale from above and exhale from below. So I'll just demonstrate that in Tadasana. So as I inhale, you notice my chest lifts, rib cage open, spine straightens out, and at the end of the inhale, the exhale comes from below, from down here. Okay, so And as I'm ready, so inhale. And exhale from below. Inhale from above. And exhale from below. Okay, so then these are the three main principles that we incorporated. And the other two principles are that the asana, so the postures, create bandha, which are the locks. That we did in pranayama. So you have your mula bandha, uh, uddiyana bandha, and the throat lock as well. So these are the three bandhas. So the postures creates bandhas, and bandhas, so these locks serve the breath. But this is all within one practice. Okay, so the asanas and the bandhas are all within the breath. Okay, so the postures create bandhas. So as you know, when we're in the bandha, our postures create the bandhas, and the bandhas serve the breath. So these locks that we do serve our breath, and when through this we can become more aware of pranayama or prana, the life force. Okay, so this is how the asana creates bandha, and bandha serves the breath. Okay, and then lastly, the fifth principle is that asana, so the postures, lead to pranayama, breath work or awareness of prana, which then leads to meditation. So this is all one seamless process. So the whole point of the postures and the pranayama is to lead into meditation. So it's a bit of a waste not to meditate at the end of your practice, because this is the whole point of the practice, is to create the environment for meditation. So it's all one seamless process. Should be no gaps or distractions between the asana, pranayama, and meditation, and they all roll into one. So yeah, thanks very much. I'll just quickly go over the 5 principles there again. So the first one, the breath movement, is the body movement. The body and the breath movement are one. The breath envelopes the body movement. The inhale is from above in receptivity, and the exhale is from below in strength. The fourth one, asana, creates bandha, and bandha serves the breath. And lastly, asana leads to pranayama, and pranayama leads to meditation. So I hope this is very clear, and the demonstration was clear with the Tadasana and how this works. Thank you very much.